Raoul Pal just dropped a bomb on the crypto world. He's calling it the banana zone. Now, that's a new term. And according to him, Bitcoin's about to go parabolic. We're talking 250K, maybe even higher. And right on cue, macro fuel just got dumped on the fire. President Trump just delays EU tariffs, sending risk assets in overdrive. Sound crazy? Well, one of the sharpest macro minds in the game talks. Smart money, listen. So let's break down what he said and, more importantly, what it means for the next moves in this market as Bitcoin has just reached an all-time weekly high close. An all-time weekly high close. So Bitcoin is poised, and we're going to be breaking it all down for you. So stick around. Welcome back, Crypto Crew. It is your boy Tom here, bringing you the hottest in crypto action. If you like what you see, please give us a like. Make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you follow us on X, where we talk about Bitcoin and crypto all day, every day. All right, so let's break it down. What's this gentleman saying? He's saying the crypto market's entering what he calls the banana phase. And if you want to see the video, we have it here posted on our X. It's quite interesting. He's actually talking about how an explosive growth stage happens when what? When global liquidity surges. We've been talking about this, I don't know for how long, right? We even have an X post about it. What he's talking about right here is this. Global M2 growth is exploding, and that is rocket fuel for Bitcoin and altcoins. Okay, so we're not even in the mania phase yet. Remember the tulip mania? Maybe you should go back and read history about the tulip mania. But anyway, we're not even close to the tulip mania. This is just the beginning of a massive move up. He's projecting Bitcoin to hit over 250,000 during this phase. Now, if we look at our charts, where's my parabolic chart? Right here. This is the one that Frank put up yesterday. He was talking about entering the parabolic stage. He believes that Bitcoin will hit between 250 and 450,000 in this cycle. Why? Because he believes 90% of Bitcoin price action is tied to one thing: liquidity. We've been saying it we've been saying it ad nauseum. We've been saying we're waiting for global liquidity to kick in. We're waiting for global liquidity to kick in. And I have to say, other of our compatriots out there have been saying the same thing. So kudos for them. So when central banks ease and capital floods back into risk assets, that liquidity goes into Bitcoin, and that liquidity is rising. We don't need the Fed to cut rates. Already, the M2 in the United States is already at really high levels. So in regard, I said this before, I do believe Powell is actually right. Because if we start to spur economic growth with the tariff deals, people companies come to the United States to actually start producing product here, he's going to have to raise rates because there will be higher economic activity. So I think he's right by holding off. Now, of course, everybody wants him to lower the rates because it's just more rocket fuel, but we really don't need it. So if we add to that also, we start talking about institutional money, i.e. BlackRock, Fidelity. We're seeing massive inflows, ETF inflows, and we've got the perfect storm for the second leg of this bull run. All right, so now Bitcoin's sitting right around 109,700. All right, so the new weekly close, if I go here and I look at this weekly chart, the close is 109,000. So guess what? That's going to become our new price point that we have to watch. Because as I told you, the close is a very, very important point, okay? Because that's really where people are stuck, all right? Big guys are stuck. If they went short, they're stuck around near that area or a little bit below that area. So what are they going to do if the marketplace gives them the opportunity to come back down to that level? They're going to snap up Bitcoin. Okay, they're going to either just scratch their head and go, well, I'm waiting, and they're going to miss the boat, or they're going to turn around and go long. A good trader would turn go long and wait for the next wave. So we're going to get into the short-term charts right now. We'll start off with the good old, well, that's our all-time high Bitcoin chart, but let's go over to this chart right here with a 1 hour chart. Okay. I want to just point out we had a nice little breakout on the 1 hour. We've been talking about this, and I want to just take a trend line and I want to cut through here. I don't really like to cut down. I don't like to cut down because yeah, as you can see the top of the chart, I'm chopping off a lot of price action. So I have to develop two like vector lines. Okay, so I want to go to the top of that candle. I want to place the line there as a technician. Now, of course, I have my support line, right? I gotta throw my support line in for good measure. So I got a double bottom right here. And you know, I would come down to maybe even a lower low right here, and I would come up and I would get my triangle like that for the 1 hour chart. Now, it doesn't do us much good. Doesn't do us much good. So what I also want to do is I want to come even tighter. I want to come into this wedge. Now, this wedge actually does us some good. This was the breakout, okay? Okay, I don't need that. This was the breakout right here, the 107,855 on the hourly, which punched us back up. Now, I want you to notice this resistance line, okay, the higher value resistance line. This line should now act as support, okay? If this marketplace can dip back down in the short term to this area, this is where everybody's short. This is now the high weekly close. This is the area where the people, like institutions or big players, if they went short, they got caught. They're short and caught, so they're going to want to basically turn at this area. So this line now becomes a very, very important line for us. Market comes down to this line. If it can do that right now, and like I said, I don't think that I think that level, it would be a gift. Now, remember, I told you in the previous videos, 106, I believe, was a gift. I'm going to give myself 2 pats on the back because that was just an awesome price. It was an awesome price, man. I mean, I couldn't get any better than that. And nobody else is going to say it, so I got to say it. That was an awesome level of support. So I also said a breakout could occur around 108, which did happen. And now here we are right now. So what does it look like short term right now? Because that's all ancient history. And we need to plan. If you haven't got involved, or if you want to get involved, we got to plan on what's next. So I'm going to jump over to a 4 hour chart. Okay, just get a little bit less like noise, more data, more important data. We were testing for support. We found it. All right. So now we make the new breakout. We haven't taken out the new all-time high yet of the 112. However, we've made a new weekly high close, which is very important at 109,000. So if I'm looking at this marketplace right now where we made the high of 110, I would think that short-term support coming in. Let me get my Bitcoin information out over here. If I can, I'm never organized, man. I gotta get organized. I'm just not organized. Let's see, Bitcoin. Where are you? Under dollar yen, of course. Oh, if you want to know what happened with dollar yen, I basically took a partial at 142.35, and I had a protective stop in at 142.60. Got hit. I'll take a new look at the dollar yen short if we break 142 the figure. That's where I stand right now in dollar yen. All right, so we made a low of 106.800. 108,800. 108,800 really should be like the level of support right now. We need to break through the 111,903 or 112, and then we're off to the next leg, which could potentially be, I believe it's going to be about 114,000 before we get a pullback. So if you haven't bought the coin, you could look to buy a breakout on the top of this level right here. It's risky, breakouts. Sometimes they fail. They basically not that they're going to fail. You'd have to wait a longer time because we could get a retracement where we could get that price that you really should be looking to buy at. But that's never guaranteed either. It's never guaranteed because the markets are markets. They don't really wait for anyone. All right, so let's also go over to Bitcoin, where we have a golden cross here. Let me find that chart. Okay, that's this. Look, I'll go over this too. We have this on our Trading View. If you have Trading View, you can copy our charts. So they're right here for you. Look, Bitcoin. We're talking about parabolic phase. We're tying back into what Raul said. You can, with a guy with a name like Raul, you can't make. You shouldn't be wrong because there's just too many ways for people on the internet to make like funny, like wrong Raul Powell, wrong, whatever. I digress. But anyway, with a name like that, you got to be right. All right. So as it, excuse me, as it stands right now, you can come on over to our Trading View. You can copy this, and look, we say right here, the Bitcoin history is repeating. Welcome to the vertical part of the cycle. Welcome to the party, Raul. I mean, we've been talking about it for a while. Glad you joined in and helped us out. All right, so what is he talking about? Let's, if we go over to the parabolic setup. Now I'm jumping around a little bit. I'm going to come back to the golden cross that we're seeing, but right now the parabolic setup. He's saying stack strong entries on dips. Okay, fantastic. So short term, if you get a chance to see 109 again, look to stack. Okay, focus on high beta altcoins with solid narrative. All right, so now you start to look out into the the crypto sphere, and you say, okay, what coins do I think have a very strong narrative? Is it Solana? Is it XRP? Is it all the ones that we highlight? I'm going to ask Frank to do some analysis on XRP because everybody's interested in XRP because it's relatively an inexpensive coin. So a lot of people could get involved in that. I mean, I could do technical analysis on it, but I'd like to see his take on it. Use tight risk management because volatility is going to rip both ways. If Trump would just keep quiet, it would be great. So because we had the tariffs on, and I said he always can go tariffs off. Now we're tariffs back off, suspended to July. Who knows what this guy could come out with to send the marketplace into like crazy volatility. So we always have to be prepared for that volatility. Let's go over. Let me find my darn Bitcoin golden cross chart here. Here it is. All right. So the last time that we saw this, all right, look what happened to the marketplace, all right? And it's basically just repeating itself. It's repeating itself. The last time we saw this golden cross, boom, we had a huge takeoff. And we just got it again. And we're near all-time high close. We're not at the all-time high yet, but we're near that all-time high close. Let's go on over to Ethereum, all right? Because everybody's like, what's going on with Ethereum, right? We got the golden cross in play. We told you short term, we got to get above that 2,800. That damn 2,800 is just holding right now. The altcoins, in my opinion, are kind of taking a sideline to Bitcoin. All the big players are looking at Bitcoin because it's the big dog. It's the big dog in the space. So if the banana, zone playbook plays out, it's going to, everything's going to flow off into these coins as well. But I do believe that the spark is above 2,800 for Ethereum. We showed you this chart yesterday, where we said we're coming right down into that zone that predicted every major bottom, and we're just waiting for the marketplace to take out that 2,800 and then go to 3,000 and finally break through the 4,600, and we're off to the races with the coin. But just be patient with it. If you're holding it, just be patient with it. It's the only thing that I can say. All right. Total crypto market cap. All right. As it stands, we showed you this yesterday. As money flows, as that M2 flows into this space, these are going to take off. You just be patient. It's going to happen. And it's the way it always starts. Like we have this actually up on our Trading View. I lost we said this is the way that these altcoins always start. Bitcoin reaches all-time high. Retail interest is still asleep. They're still in disbelief. And then before you know it, marketplace takes off on you. So before we wrap up, crew, I got to tell you about our crypto trading community. All right, it's totally free to join. You click this link, you'll be taken over to this site right here where you can join, where we'll be dropping, insane alpha opportunities. We'll be talking about trade setups. We're trying to give you the best possible education because we do want you to be the most intelligent traders on the planet. Okay, you want to follow our trades with a serious, incredible broker. Click this link right here. You'll be taken over to WEEX. That's our broker of choice. Fast executions, low fees, perfect for our strategies. And we're going to be using this broker to trade live starting next Saturday. So, hey, you want to join with a solid broker? You want fast execution, low fees? You want to use the same broker as us? Feel free. You want to use your own broker? You want to pay higher fees? You want slow execution? Do it. It's up to you. But anyway, don't forget to follow us on X, where we talk about Bitcoin and crypto all day, every day. You could see the video right here of our man that's basically talking about the banana zone. I mean, incredible. I mean, the man is a genius. All right, we can't say, and I'm playing, but the guy is incredibly bright. So, don't listen to me. Listen to him. All right. And remember, always as a short-term trader, enjoy the party, dancing in the door. Make sure you do your own research, and always trade with your head, not over it. Okay. We're in for the long hauls. This is a marathon, not a sprint. The sprint occurred in 2012. Right now, we're kind of in a marathon run. All right. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers.